Hello guys, welcome back. So today we are going to talk about Spring Batch, one of the most hot topic in today's world as well, because there are a lot of data we have, okay, in the AI world also, a lot of data we are processing. So Spring Batch is one of the most important batch processing framework that is given by Spring to us as a part of their Spring Batch project. Okay, now in this video we are going to talk about how we can process 10 million records in Spring Batch with super fast inserts and updates. Okay, so that we are going to see, and we are going to understand how and how much time it is going to take to process 10 million records, and what performance improvements we can do. We will see step by step. But before that, if you are very new to the Spring Batch, please skip this video if you are aware of the Spring Batch architecture and job context and all those things. But if you are not aware, please continue this video, because this is going to be a very important concept that you need to understand before learning Spring Batch. So let's get started. So first we have a job scheduler. Who is job scheduler? Job scheduler is nothing but basically it starts off the job launcher to start the job. Simple thing. Job scheduler can be executed by your cron jobs, your any other scheduler, or any quad scheduler, from any other places also you can execute this. So job launcher, what is the role of job launcher? Job launcher basically launches the job. Okay, so this is very important thing you have to understand. Job launcher job is to launch the job. Okay, simple. And what is the role of step? Steps are executed inside the job. From job, step will be created, and under step we have 3 steps: reader, processor and writer. Okay, so once the job gets executed, this step will go and check, oh, what is the item reader, what is the reader that this guy has configured. Okay, this is the reader. That means I need to read the data. Okay, I read the data. Now once I read the data, I will pass it to the processor. Processor will process the data, and then it will write. I go to the item writer. So this is how each and every step will get executed. Okay, simple, nothing else. And then we have execution context. I'll talk about execution context in a while, but a job can have multiple steps. You can have 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, whatever steps you can add that step. Okay, so each and every step will have a reader, processor and writer. And we also have a job repository. What is job repository? Job repository is the place where we are going to store each and every information of the job. Whatever job is going to get executed, whatever parameters it is going to take and execute, all this information we are going to store into the job repository. So this is one of the important step. And job repository, what it does, it just does it to save to the database, nothing else. It will just store it into the database. Okay, now job launcher only registers the job instance in database through job repository. So job launcher is there. Okay, this guy will register the job instances in databases, and then only the jobs will get executed. Okay, and once the job has started in database through job repository, okay, each and every job step, okay, like the number of records, status, all those things are updated via job repository. Okay, this step also updates in the job repository, because step information is also required. Now we also have an execution context. Okay, now execution context is very important. It stores the information that you need to pass in between the jobs or the steps. You can store all those information in the execution context, because while execution you might require some of the data, right? So those data are stored into the execution context. This is one of the most important thing, because when you are writing, right, let's say the job ID, let's say you want to give some ID to your job, unique ID, so that you can store in execution context. Okay, whatever operations you are doing, you can put into the execution context. The metadata information, simple metadata, you can put it. Okay, now what is step execution and job execution? Job execution indicates the physical execution of the job. Okay, so execution context is considered for sharing the metadata across like process, like for job, we have a job execution context. For step, right, across the step, if we want to share some data, we will have a step execution context. So these are the 2 different execution contexts that is available. Okay, so now after the job has shared the information and all those things happened, right, what is the final flow? Final flow is job scheduler will execute the job launcher execute the job. Once the job launcher starts executing the job, all this job information is stored into the database. And once it's stored in the database, it goes and triggers the step information is also coming and storing into the database. Once the step is stored, reader, writer, processor information starts, working starts. So reader will read the data, processor will process the data, writer will write the data. This is simple step, nothing else. Don't get confused about tasklet and all those things. First focus on the basic things. Okay. Now that we can have multiple steps. A job can have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many steps are there? That is also possible. Okay, so each job will have its own execution context. Each step will have its own execution context, and we can share data across the steps using a step execution context. Okay, very simple. I hope you have understood. Now let's go to the main code. I'll show you a code and then we'll see. So there is one thing is there, chunk model. Okay. Chunk means processing in certain number of units rather than processing all the entire data. Okay, so we divide the data into chunk, and then tasklet is also there which supports the chunk processing. Okay, so that those things we'll see in real time instead of confusing. We'll see it in real time how it is different and what it is implemented. Okay, let's go ahead to the code now. Now in this code, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a Spring Batch application. Okay, I have already run it. Let me clear it out first and then also truncate the data, truncate the table. Okay, so I've truncated it up. If you see over here, I have already batch job execution. You see batch job execution context, it stores the execution context. Okay, parameters also, whatever parameters I have given, right? Key, date, job ID, time, date, job ID, these things are stored. Okay, I'll show you now. Okay, first let's go to the Spring Batch. Now this is my job config, Spring Batch application. Okay, I have to enable batch processing to start the Spring Batch. As it is a Spring Batch application, I have to put it. Okay, so now once the command line runner starts, we have to add a job parameter. So I have given some job parameters, as you said, job, job ID, date. Okay, and you see over here I have executed the job launcher. Now what is this job launcher doing? Now what is this job launcher doing? Job launcher is executing the job. Now where is this job information? It is present in the zip code job config. Let's go down. I have defined a job, okay, which is a job, and inside job what I have done is a step. So this is my step. In the step what I have done, reader, writer, processor I am not using, so I have not added the processor. And if you notice over here, this is what is important, because it says how you are going to read the data, what is going to the input and what is going to the output. Simple terms. Okay, you might confuse if you see the documentation, but simple terms. Input, what is the type of the input? Okay, and I am saying chunk of 10,000. So I will read 10,000 data one by one, and then I will pass it to the reader, processor and writer. Processor is not there, but yes, I'll talk about processor in the flow, so don't mind it. Okay, now in my step I have a reader, writer. So what is reader is doing? Reader is going and reading the data. Now how it is going to read? It is going to read using a flat file item reader. So we will have a JDBC pagination item reader, we have flat file item reader, we have different varieties of reader. You can search and use it, or I will just put it into the screen later. Okay, so for reading the CSV I have a flat file item reader. So I read the data, then what I do? Set lines to skip one. I am skipping the first line because first line will always have a header. This is my data what I have. Okay, this is the data that I am using. Okay, zip code, official, these things are there. Okay, now then I am saying custom line mapper. I want to use a line mapper because each and every line into the data has to be mapped with my zip codes. This is a Java object, right? How it is going to do? First it is going to read the line. Now it doesn't know, right, which line ends where, so I am giving it a delimiter. Okay, if it is ending with colon, then you see it is a new line. You have to treat it as a end of the line. So you see over here, I'll go to the end. Okay, I have a I just told you something wrong. I'm not telling it this. So what it is going to tell is, this is the each and every record has to be identified, right? Now what is the identifier? If there is a semicolon is happening, then you have to segregate that and you treat this as a one row or one column. Okay, so that is what it is saying. Zip code config. Okay, yeah. Now coming back, I am delimiting the records with semicolon. It could be comma separated as well. The record can be comma separated, so in that case it will be a CSV. But in my CSV I have a delimiter as colon. So it segregates the data based on that, and it maps with this header names. So these are the header names that gets mapped with this based on the indexes. Okay, now it automatically reads, okay, well, how to know that it's the next line? If the empty space is coming, that's the next line. Okay, now after this, what it does, it needs to map this data to a Pojo Java object, right? So this is how it do. We have a zip code mapper which maps this record. Field set will have all the records. Okay, whatever records are there, right, it will be under this field set, and inside this field set I get the record using a string or integer, and I can map it to the zip code Pojo. So now my Pojo is mapped. So once my Pojo is mapped, I return this reader. So that is the job of reader. I have defined what reader needs to do. Okay, similarly I have a writer. So what is the job of writer? I am using a item writer. Okay, now there are different types of writer available. JDBC batch item writer you can also use. So I have used a item writer, and it is returning the zip code. It is taking the generic as zip codes. Why it is taking zip codes? Because I have the reader is sending me zip code object. Okay, this is the object, so that I need to mention over here. So under zip codes, as it is reading in chunk, so I will have 10,000 zip codes over here. So once I get this 10,000 zip codes, what I'll do zip code data repository dot save all. Very simple, small task done. Now instead of this item writer, you can use a JDBC item writer as well, JDBC patch item writer as well, to insert into the patch format. Instead of JPA, you can use a JDBC as well. This is how you can use a JDBC. If you want, you can uncomment this code and run it. So this will also work. Now let's go ahead and run this application. Okay, I'll just go ahead and run this to check, okay, how it is and how much data it is there and what it is inserting. Okay, it is starting now, executing job. Okay, now it is chunking and inserting. Okay, see, now my job is completed. How much time it took? It took approximately 10 seconds. Now in my database, if I see my database, okay, if I see my database, how much records are there? See, 33, 121, this many records it has finally inserted, and this is the number of records I have in my data.csv. Understood? So this is how simple Spring Batch application works. I hope you have understood this concepts now. Now I will go and run the JDBC batch item writer as well. I'll truncate this table. Okay, I'll truncate this. Okay, before truncating, I need to show you the job execution. Okay, see, this is the third job I'm running. All this information it has stored here. Start at unknown, exit code unknown, because I abruptly stop the job, so it is showing unknown. It is showing completed because this job has been completed just now. Okay, now in the context, what all data I am storing? I am storing nothing, so it is just stored a hash map. I don't know why it is stored, but yeah. If you want, you can store something else as well. In the job execution parameters, so this is the parameter that I have given, right? So these all things are stored over here. Okay, so long string value, long value, double value. Okay, so these all things are stored over here. Now job execution sequence is there, 3 job, batch job instance 3. Okay, this is the job name is Jeb, and this is the job key. Spring automatically creates the job key. Okay, so you don't need to worry about it. Now for each step, these are the step information. Step 1, step 2, job execution ID. Okay, you see, for each step there is the execution context, so this is also stored over here. Okay, and the sequence as well. So this is how Spring Batch stores all this information, triggers it and runs it, and it takes the reference from these tables. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now now let's see how we can optimize the performance. You remember it took almost 10 seconds to complete the Spring Batch using JPA. Now we will see how we can optimize it. So for optimization, what we have done is, instead of the JPA writer, I have used a JDBC batch item writer. Okay, so I'm going to clean up my database. Let me clean up my database. So I have cleaned up my database. Now let's go ahead and check. Nothing else, no changes. This is a simple change that we have done. Okay, I'll just go ahead and run it. Same chunk, same, everything is same. I'll just show you the performance. You'll understand what is the impact of choosing a slight different approach. You see this? This is completed in 5 seconds, but I doubt it got completed. I think there's some other problem. Oh, it got completed. Oh my god. 5 seconds, half. I think it's half than what we have done earlier, right? So let's see the count. Yes, the count is 33,121. See, you see the performance impact. I've removed the loggers though, but yes, still it is faster than what we have done. So this is how you can, small changes can have greater impact. Okay, now this video is going to be a bigger one, so I just cut out this video over here, and I'll have one more video where I will show you the exact 10 million records that I have promised in my first statement. So I'll show you that, and I'll also show you the performance improvement apart from using a JDBC item writer. So please subscribe and please comment if you have understood this much. Please help me with the comment so that I can create a better video for you guys. Thanks for watching.